Subscribe to my channel. The moment we stepped into Melissa's house, I realized the night was already spiraling into something louder and rowdier than anything my wife had described. She'd said it would be a small get-together, but what we walked into was a full-scale party. People shouting over booming music, drinks sloshing onto the floors, and chaos packed into every corner of the room. Jenna lit up instantly. Under those neon lights, she looked like she just walked onto a stage meant for her alone. She held my hand for a moment, but the second she spotted her coworkers, she let go like she'd forgotten I existed and rushed straight toward them. I watched her dance like she'd been waiting for this moment all week, downing drinks like a freshman on spring break. I tried to join the group once, offering a polite smile, hoping to blend in. Instead, Jenna rolled her eyes and yelled through the music, "Babe, chill. You're killing the vibe." Everyone around her laughed, and something inside me cracked. Her words echoed long after their laughter faded. I slipped out to the backyard, pretending I needed fresh air. But really, I needed distance from the sting of humiliation burning through me. How many times had I stood up for her, supported her, chosen her even when she messed up? Yet here I was, treated like an inconvenience, a punchline to make her friends giggle. I stared up at the sky, wondering when she'd stop seeing me as her partner and started treating me like an accessory to her show. The music thumped through the walls, the bass shaking the ground beneath my feet, and disappointment tightened in my chest. I didn't yell. I didn't confront her. I just came to a simple, painful truth. I didn't belong there anymore. When I walked back inside, I spotted her perched on the kitchen counter, laughing with two guys from her office. One had his arm behind her, far too close, and she didn't move away. She didn't look the slightest bit uncomfortable. She was too busy performing, too busy being this wild, exaggerated version of herself she'd become lately. I watched them for a few seconds. They didn't even notice me. That was enough. I grabbed my coat, pulled out my keys, and walked out the front door. No shouting, no confrontation, just silence. And the moment the cold night air brushed my face, I felt something I hadn't felt all evening: relief. The drive home was strangely calm. No music, no replaying everything in my head. Just a quiet realization that I'd ignored the signs for far too long. Jenna had changed, her priorities, her circle, her attitude, even her tone. And I kept hoping she'd drift back to the version of herself who loved quiet evenings at home, movie nights under a blanket, long talks about life and the future. I wasn't ending things, not yet, but I needed space. At home I showered, grabbed a simple meal, and sat in silence. My phone buzzed once. I ignored it. Then again. And again. At 1:45 a.m. I finally checked. "Where are you? Are you serious right now? Stop being dramatic. Come back." I flipped the phone face down. By 2:10 a.m. she called. Then again. Then 5 more times. I didn't pick up. At 2:40 a.m. a final text came through. "Fine. I'll get a ride." No apology. No accountability. Just irritation that I wasn't around to patch things up. I powered off my phone and fell asleep, peacefully for the first time in months. When morning sunlight filled the room, the buzzing of my phone returned. I turned it over and froze. 47 missed calls. Countless messages. "Please answer. I'm outside. Open the door. Please." My stomach dropped. I walked to the window. She was sitting on the front steps in the same wrinkled dress from last night. Mascara streaked down her cheeks, hair tangled, her confidence from earlier completely gone. She looked nothing like the woman who mocked me hours before. Now she looked small, scared, and painfully sober. I opened the door but didn't move aside. She stood quickly, nearly stumbling. "Why didn't you answer me?" she asked, her voice trembling but defensive. I looked at her steadily. "Because you didn't answer me last night." Her throat tightened as she swallowed. I didn't mean it. I was drunk. Drunk minds speak sober thoughts," I said quietly. The words hit her like a punch. She reached for my arm and I instinctively stepped back. Not out of anger, just honesty. For the first time, she understood I wasn't bluffing. For the first time, she realized I could actually leave. Inside, she broke down. "I know I messed up," she cried. "I was trying to show off, trying to fit in. I didn't think about you at all." She wiped her face with her sleeve. "But after you left? No one cared. Not a single person asked where I went. They just kept partying. She sniffed. The only person who ever cares about me is you. And I treated you horribly. It wasn't an excuse. It was the truth. And for once she saw it. We talked for hours, really talked, something we hadn't done in months. She admitted she'd been chasing approval from people who didn't matter, losing herself in a lifestyle that never belonged in our marriage. She apologized, not with manipulation or dramatic tears, but with real accountability. I didn't forgive her completely, not that morning, but I didn't end things either. I told her things needed to change. Not temporarily, not for a guilt phase, permanently. And she didn't argue. She didn't push back. She simply nodded, eyes red but sincere. Weeks later, we stood in the same living room where she once mocked me. This time, she held my hand and whispered, "I realize now. I didn't lose you that night. I lost the version of you who tolerated disrespect." I looked at her. Not the reckless party version of her, but the woman who finally understood what our marriage needed. Respect, partnership, loyalty. "I'm not here for fun," I said softly. "I'm here for us." Tears filled her eyes. "I know," she whispered. And I almost threw that away. She laughed at that party, confident I'd never walk out. But when I did, she finally learned the truth. The quickest way to lose someone is to behave as if they'll never leave.